Young black males, take your place. Without women, take your place. Top of the pyramid, take your place. Looking for change, gotta take your place. Without children, take your place. Through the pain, gotta take your place. Black queens, gotta take your place. Even the children, take your place.
All information that you hear on our platform is not legal advice. If you need any type of legal advice, please seek a competent lawyer with subject matter expertise. Again, this is not legal advice. Everything we give to you is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Good day, good day, good day. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So today in Enlightenment Asset Hour, say that 3 times. We have a special guest today, the first melanated female here in Jacksonville, Florida, that has her own nail school. Not to mention she runs other businesses within her diaspora. And at the same time and token, y'all already know, before I bring this young lady on, I have to hit you with the board, so everyone knows exactly what position they fall in. Excuse me for a minute as I grab something. So what we have here is the generation board. We're moving from generations to make sure everyone knows what position they're in. Baby boomers are 58 to 67. Generation X is 42 to 57. Millennials is 26 to 41. Generation Z is 10 to 25. So what I want everyone to do here, and once again, thank you to the baby boomers for all that you've done for us and put us in position of. And right now, what I want to do is bring her on. Mrs. Cross, how are you doing? Miss Cross, how are you doing this morning?
Blessed and highly favored.
Already. Now, the name of your nail school is PERFECT10 Nails, correct?
Right, PERFECT10 Nail and Technology School Incorporated.
Okay. So in order for me not to, I don't want to take any shine away from you. I want you to be able to tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, and I'll come back with the second question.
Well, I am a serial entrepreneur, just out here trying to make opportunities for our people in nation building. And I believe part of nation building, the core is economics. And without finances, then we cannot thrive as not only an individual, a family, a nation of people, because we will be so distracted with trying to take care of our necessities and our resources. And all of the complaints that we have as a nation of people, I believe that if there were people that put themselves in position with the know-how in order to crack open a window or open a door for people to come through, to be able to take control of their lives through self-sufficiency, that is the key. And so, everything that I do is not only generationally for my children, but also to raise up the level of consciousness and the frequencies of everybody else that my children, when they grow up, that they're going to encounter as well too.
Word. So with that resume, and as you said, what was that? You said serial entrepreneur?
Serial entrepreneur. It's addiction. Everybody has their addictions, whether it is, cigarettes or drugs or kleptomaniacs or whatever. Right. Mine is businesses. It's like knowledge and businesses. Every time I get hands on a little bit of change, it's like I'm opening up the next venture.
Yeah, that's right.
I need Business Anonymous, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done so much. I kind of keep quiet about it because it's almost embarrassing. Because I don't know if or not it just sounds strange or don't want people to think that I'm bragging. So I keep quiet about it until they mention something in a conversation, rather if it's something like, do you know somebody that does this or does that. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I do. And they say, well, what is it that you don't know? Or what is it that you don't do?
Right.
What is it that you don't got? That's where I am too. So just about everything, been there, done there, got the t-shirt, the certification or the licensing. Yeah, or the education, seriously.
Right. So how we end up coming into parts, because someone let me know about this highly intelligent young lady that has mad education across various private fields. Not to mention, she was the first young lady to start their own nail tech school. That's what was told to me, right? So, ladies
Wow.
and gentlemen, when I met this young lady and she pretty much opened herself up like a book to me about business, it was a beautiful thing, because I have met a lot of knowledgeable young ladies out there, but I have not met one of your criteria. What I wanted to try to bring out of this interview is how you were able to, I'm gonna say, crack the code. And when I say crack the code, everybody can't crack the code. People are either trying to find finances, people are trying to understand themselves and where they come from. A lot of people have passions that they've let go to the wayside because of the function of trying to gain finances. And all of us weren't born in a situation where we had knowledge. So as we grew up, we went out looking for knowledge, and doing that can be a tedious and tiring what's the word I'm looking for? Adventure. I'll say the word adventure, because you're going down many rabbit holes and you're learning so much different things. What kept you straight to the point of where you wanted to be and where you're at right now? Like, what kind of focus did it tell you? Because I want my young ladies to take this away from this this interview, how to stay focused. How were you able to do that?
Wow. Well, first of all, you hear everybody say, may God be the glory. You can't do anything possible without God or the Most High. And I reign true to that as far as building a relationship with them, talking to them just like I talk to you right now. It's like, that inner conversation. First of all, embracing the consciousness and the subconsciousness in myself to think things through.
Right.
To think through to that, you don't have nobody else in order to talk to, and you to encourage you and just reaching inner. So the first thing is we as a people, we are so used to, and I mean we as a people, not just us as melanated people on this planet, but I mean all people of the human race. If you listen to what people say, a lot of people listen, but they don't pay attention.
Right.
They don't comprehend. You can listen all day long, but if you can't comprehend and understand cause and effect, you'll notice that this little cliche that says common sense ain't common, come into play. But because people are not paying attention to details. And so I am just that type of person that I realize that people are always looking for something on the outside of themselves to improve the inside of themselves.
Right.
And when you live in a world where there is so much negativity around you, and there are so many avenues that are not positive for you to stray to, and you feel left and you feel abandoned. I just got tired of seeing people saying, well, you're the product of your environment, that nature. And this these no accountability, people always blaming other people for they want to keep the credit for their success, but they want to blame other people for their failures.
Right. I understand.
So, so I got to a point where I had to grasp onto that relationship with the Most High, and by realizing that that voice in me that tells me in my consciousness what's right and what's wrong. It's inside of me. It's nobody outside of me. When I get ready to make decisions and do that, that gives me an idea, that tells me to move, to go, that intuition, that tells me to stop, don't do this. It's always been in me. So I had to tune in, pay attention to that when I didn't have anybody else to turn to encourage me. And so I had to realize that the Most High is within me. And anything that I manifest, it has to manifest from the inside outwards, not the outside inwards or whatnot. And matter of fact, we're supposed to block things that are on the outside trying to infiltrate inwards in order to put on our full armor of protection.
Word.
So that was my key.
Yeah, that was your key. So your key was pretty much to go inside of yourself, go to the knowledge of self, and at the end of the day, allow that to guide you in your moves and endeavors that you've traveled, the paths that you have traveled throughout the years, correct?
Most definitely, because, and it started with me, leaving from, there's many different, levels that push me to the next level. But that really started from a first abusive marriage. And I had to go inner like that at a very young age. And when I did do that, I started taking the opportunity to spend time with self, like take my own self out on dates, look myself in the mirror and say, you are beautiful and you are perfectly made. Ooh, I love me some you. It started there. I would take myself out on dates. I found out that there were so many things that I liked that I didn't know that I liked. And that I used to like that I didn't like anymore. I found out I didn't even know myself. And we spend our lives so busy trying to learn, impress, and know other people. And once I did that, I started challenging myself with pushing my capabilities as well too. And started, I saw this infomercial. And this guy said, the one thing that you can't get back in life is time. What are you doing with your time? It says that what you did yesterday or in the past is a result of what you got today.
Hey, yo, that's the most precious thing. That's the most precious thing. And that's what's not really taught to our diaspora at all. If anything, is taught that you got to stay on the clock because time waits for no one. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's always pressure, and it's not what my listeners are hearing right now. You have to take this time out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for starting us out with this because self-preservation, self-motivation, self-love, dealing with low self-esteem, bringing it up to a higher level of self-esteem is definitely needed in both diasporas, whether male or female. But for a female that's able to comprehend and understand that, hey, look, I got a place I need to go. I got a place that I want to go. You know what I'm saying? And in that, I know it takes levels for me to get there. We was having a conversation about this the other day, how everything has a level. You know what I'm saying? There's levels in everything. And I don't know if all my listeners are understanding this to this effect right now. But just like you went from K5 all the way to graduation day, these are levels, you know what I'm saying? Levels of education, levels of knowledge that you pick up throughout, those years of schooling, right? But also, what made you say, okay, something outside of me is wrong, dealing with commerce, dealing with how to start your own business, dealing with how to make that first step. And from my understanding of comprehension from our conversation, you had to make a choice to where you wasn't going back outside of yourself, meaning banks or anything like that, until you knew what it was you were supposed to do. Speak on that right quick for the listeners.
Trying to do everything right from the beginning, trying to do everything right and running into the situation where I'm denied. I do what what I was told to do. So here's a perfect example. When I was maybe about in my late teens, I I didn't have any credit, but I didn't have messed up credit. And I knew I've always had a hustle mentality. And I knew that I wanted to, I always had a hustle mentality, and I knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But at that particular time, it was, I wanted to be a barber. So, I was very competitive. I grew up like a tomboy. So I wanted to be very competitive. So I wanted to go to school, be a barber. And then I went to cosmetology school, became that as well. And when I decided that I wanted to do nails and open a nail salon, when I got into my early 20s, I wrote a business plan, studied on it. I've always been a self-study type of person because I was raised in a household where there was no graduates. And everybody, was like, read this and what's this? Because I was raised by my grandparents, 1922ers, so how opportunity was like for them and everything, and education or whatever. And so, I had to be that self-starter. I had to be that resourceful one or whatnot. And so I went to the banks and I said, here's my business plan and I want to open up a business. What do I need to do? And they ran my credit and they were like, and I got with SCORE, the Small Business Administration, for a coach. And they said, here's the checklist. I went down, and with everybody, after I went down the checklist, from being in my residence at a period of time and my employment, for a period of time, opened up the credit cards and the bank accounts and had reached the level of money in it they said I needed to have, did all of that. And that took me about 2 years. And then after I did that, they said, I came to them for the loan. I said, I'm ready now, did everything. There's nothing left on this checklist. And they said, they made, as I think about it, it's the first time that I even thought about this. One of their options was for me to pull family members together, family and friends together, and get the money from them for them to loan it to me. And as I think about it today, that's private lending, right?
Yeah.
And years later, I would find out that even the financial infrastructure, when it comes to banking, they get money from those same people that are looking to tuck away their 401k, get a larger investment than they would on the 3% that the bank offers. They turn around and, give them 3% on their money that's they, $40, $50, $100,000, but then you get your car, you get your house, they're giving you anywhere from a 7 to 13% or 26% interest rate.
That's right.
And they get the big boat and you get the little boat. When I became a mortgage broker and opened up my own mortgage brokerage business, I've noticed that no matter which way I turn, everything's still linked together. It may be like my grandmother used to say, different faces, different places, different circumstances, the same end result. Right. And it made sense to me, all those little cliches, it started making sense to me as I matured mentally and psychologically and really started paying attention how people be moving and shaking in the world and things that people saying, paying attention to what they saying, looking at what they also what they're not doing.
Right.
And so when I came to them with my little checklist, the next option was, since I had the money in the bank at that time, because they had me open up all these accounts and saving up all this money, and I wanted this big, huge concept of a salon. They told me to use my own money and take it and put it into a line of credit and fund my business venture. I said that defeats the point. Number one, because I don't want to use my money. I want to keep my money so I can be able to have it as leverage.
That's right.
So, and then if I open up this account, you telling me that you charging me certain interest and certain fees.
That's right.
So basically, you pimping me.
Pretty much.
Concerned, I can fund my own self for 0% interest and pay my own self back. Why would I need to, so I was like, wow. And I was really offended about the process. And so I said, you know what? I tell you what, I snatched all my, while I was there, I snatched all my money out the bank. They held me there for about an hour till the bank manager got there. And then when he approached me, he asked me, was anybody making me do this? Was anybody threatening me, making me do this? Pulling all my money out the bank, closing all my accounts. I had a boatload of money up in there.
Right.
And I said, y'all are, and I didn't like the feel of that type of hostile takeover and control with, what I work for and what I build. You putting up these fail safes to prevent me from accessing what belongs to me.
That's right.
And as I worked throughout mortgages and everything, I noticed the difference because we're what, Generation X. So Generation X, we come from those integration with that integration culture.
That's right.
We're that tailspin where desegregation come on the scene and they start busting us to white schools and all this other kind of stuff where all the other generations is just normal to them.
That's
but
right.
For us, it was a shock. But we got to learn how to integrate. And I think that's the problem with our cultures. They don't have integration skills. They just think, oh, we all one people, and we not, so they fall in with the and the traps and the snares and, all that other kind of stuff. So when I said that like that, because it's a big issue. When you know who your enemy is and you see how they operate and move and the opportunities that are afforded to them, you notice that there is no equality. And you understand why, because when I started doing mortgages, I noticed that I work with all nations of people. Everything I do, our kind is not the only kind that get services and spend money and break. Everybody does. So I'm gonna service everybody. And I try to make myself relevant to all nations of people, not just one particular people, even though what I do and what I'm setting up the foundation for is for my people.
Right.
They would make our people jump through hoops. They would say in order to get mortgages and loans, they'll say if you ain't got nothing, they say you got to have skin in the game. Which means that if you can't get they say you can't get nothing for nothing. Right? You got to have skin in the game. Then when you got skin in the game, whether if you already own something or you got the capital, then they scrutinize you in like short of saying that it's not legit.
Right.
It must have come by illegal means. And so now you got to verify it, that you came across it legit. Who you get this from?
You know what I'm saying? So let me start you right there, because I think everybody got a picture of what you're speaking on, right? And I'm gonna throw my example out there. I'm dealing with SCORE right now. You know what I'm saying? And you go to these classes, they ask you, do you want a mentor? You put in for a mentor. The mentor send you 1 or 2 emails, and then the next thing you know, there's no good communication. Since everything is going over to she's like I lost her. But
no,
okay. It's still a situation where people do not comprehend or understand that you can have the best communication skills. You can have all the money that they say you need in the bank. You can have good credit, but at the end of the day, before it's over with, they will make you jump over hoops to see if you really want it, number one, but number two, to keep pulling time away from you. That's number one. Number two, they're trying to break down your resources. Number three, they're trying to break down your dream, and also they're trying to prolong it out to the point where you don't even want to deal with it no more.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. And if you are diligent, then they reduce the access. So for example, they may say if you got a credit score that 650, you get 650 or above, you get 80% financing, for
Right.
example. Your credit could be a 720, so it's far above and beyond. You can have everything that's on that checklist, and then all of a sudden their guidelines change.
Right.
That's, you see, they say something, it's the switch of the hand. What you see on paper is different than what come out their mouth.
Mouth, yeah. And I've ran into that too as well.
They come out their mouth, oh, well, you can't have 80%. You can only get 50% loan to value. So they want to make sure that they limit your access to your goals so that it makes it harder. So you can't do the full plan. You got to do half of the plan or not do it at all.
That's right. That's right. They'd rather give you half the money than 100% of the money. That's number one. I put in for $120,000 loan before when I was in school for my bachelor's degree. I was getting ready to graduate. I put in for I think it was $125. They wanted to give me $65,000 for a loan, and I had to still work out my house.
Exactly.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works in America. Is it? Or is it?
That part.
They want you to keep on working out your house, but they could go and get a commercial building and get a year worth of money for that to pay the rent, the lights, and everything else. But you still got to start from having people coming to your home. That's wrong. Okay, so look, we're going to get off of that. We're going to talk about this school that I walked into that you were so delicately and energetically teaching in. Tell us a little bit about your courses, the where you're located, and how long you've been there.
Well, we are located at 6501 Arlington Expressway in Jacksonville, Florida, in the East Arlington area, maybe about 3 exits from downtown. And you know, we've been there since we've been in the area since 2017. Started providing courses at 2019 because the state took 2 years in order to scrutinize, as we were just saying, to try to get from issuing the license to proceed, because there are a lot of people that are melanated that have cosmetology schools, but not where they offer the hair and the barbering and and a lot of other courses. But not an all-exclusive nail school, because I wanted to dive in and focus on this billion-dollar industry as far as retail, trillion-dollar as far as services, as far as the income that's being brought in predominantly by Asian races. And out of that, 97% of the income comes from people of color. But as far as people that are working in the industry, receiving income from this industry, 2% are Caucasian and 1% is a mixture of other races. And out of that 1%, 2% of that 1% is melanated, aka white folks. That is working and capturing the income. Those were the statistics when I started in 2017. And so, moving towards changing those statistics, because what I thought about is, I said to myself, I noticed that we are creators, and all of the nationalities jump on the bandwagon and then try to re-innovate it and then put a spin on it and make it their own. And what we do, we just move on to the next thing. And I said, aren't we tired of this hostile takeover type
Talk to them.
And I think a lot of people don't know what to do about it, And so what I decided to do was said, they piggybacks off of the beginning about having somebody that is on the other side.
That's right.
So trying to be with the Joneses, be a part of something that of the masses, that we never think about being on the other side where the numbers are lesser. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna jump on the other side. I said, I thought about it, I said, what are the things that are making them rich? And I never forget, it was this Asian lady. She said, whatever we see you do, whatever we see you like, we going to do it and we gonna offer it. Where the money at? And then I thought about it, and we see it all the time in our communities, all the different shops and everything that's set
Drop
up.
that knowledge.
Yeah, all the different shops that's set up, and we complain about it, but I noticed that we know what to do about it, right?
That's right. That's right.
I said to myself, okay, now I see they in our neighborhoods making money, but you don't see them in our schools, these other nationalities. You don't see them in your schools, in your churches, and I ain't talking about a little
speck. You ain't talking about little 3, 4 little crumbs, 5 crumbs.
Yeah, I ain't talking about
go to private school.
Yes, exactly. You don't see them in your schools. You don't see them working on your job. You don't see them in your churches. You don't even neighborhoods they stay in. I said a little joke. I said, I think these people from this other nationality like got some super plane or some super jet, or some transporter that they just go home to their country and then pop
the next morning.
Yeah, the next morning, because where the heck do they stay? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Filtrate through. So to the subject at hand, I was saying, okay, I see where they're making money at. And it is the places that we find as a necessity, or that we being wasteful at,
Yeah, so needs and wants.
Exactly, our needs, they cater towards those things. So I said, you know what, why don't we go back to the things we left on the table? It's like they wait for us to do something, build it up, and then go back in and do a hostile takeover. Then I say, monkey see, monkey do. Then I'm gonna go back, pick up the things that we left on the table and that they don't build up, and then hostile take over that. See, that's the mentality we got to be in right now. We have to stop saying, you know what I'm saying, I don't want that no more. You can have that, but then complain because you spinning your wheels and you running out of resources, you running out of ideas, or you keep creating things for the people. You can still create, because as long as you're a creator. I'm the Mozart that never paint the same picture twice.
That's
so
right.
I don't care about sharing or whatnot. When you are a creator, everybody else can be duplicators all day long. Just realize your strength in it and your status. But at the same token, you got to go back and get what is yours. You know what I'm saying? Right. You drop the baby, you raise you raise that baby. They taking the credit for it because they want to come and dress it up real nice. Now you come back and you claim that.
Okay, so go back and get your children. That's a topic for another another interview. For the mothers that day, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe the fathers too, but especially the mothers, so they can understand that. But keep on going so we get that correct.
Right. So exactly, because it's about sowing and reaping. It's about in the harvest. You know what I'm saying? That parable, you drop good seeds on good soil, or whatever. And we got a lot of seeds that we drop everywhere. You know what I mean? Rather in the ground, meaning if it's good people, if it's good or bad people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's that casting the pearl of the swine thing. But which means that you have to go back for the harvest. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got the seeds, you got the information, you got the intellect, the know-how, you got the work ethics, the skills. Sometimes it's meant for you to do everything, and sometimes it's only meant for you to bring to the table just those certain portions. Because I had to learn in life that we either the blessing of the lesson, or both. For us to decide which one it is if we the blessing of the lesson.
Right.
To other people and to ourselves. And we try to carry the weight for everything. We try to not make moves on anything until we know all of the details first and all that kind of stuff. And that stagnates us in life. And what I had learned was that sometimes you have to drop that buzz, you know, that information of knowledge into somebody, and then, or you have to give them that loan or whatnot. But that don't mean that just because you gave them the loan, it don't mean that you got to own their business.
Right.
Just collect your interest.
Right.
And sometimes you loan it to them, you collect something, and sometimes you just say, you know what, this is just a blessing for you. And it comes back. You have to learn not to expect
something for something that you're doing from your heart.
Yeah,
you should be doing from your heart, and you expect something in return because you're trying to do business instead of doing something from your heart.
Exactly. Reaping where you sow. You got to expect that it's going to come back to you from the universe when you need it in your timing, not exactly from that person. And so, you know, I realized those things about people in general and about myself to help me make good decisions. And when I say you got to go back and you got to go pick up that child, because, you know, while somebody else is harvesting it, you know, it's or you know, while somebody is you know, sowing it,
reaping the benefits from your work of raising the child. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, we are talking about this because if we're not going to spill the beans, I'm not going to give you too much information because we want you to understand what Perfect 10 is standing for and what Ms. Cross puts this together for, because the drastic information that she's explaining to you right now is your bank. You see what I'm saying? People do not understand that when you have children, you are steadily, well, once again, that's like you said, with levels, we are definitely not comprehending where our children are so much important to us that when it comes down to insurance, when it comes down to teaching them, don't just let the school system teach them from 8 to 3 o'clock or from 9 to 2. Don't allow that. Don't get out of that mentality when it comes down to if you're one of those go get it type people. You see what I'm saying? Because you're out there and you're trying to make things happen for your family and you're a go-to person. But your children gets a little, what's the word? They get stagnated. They get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You try to carry all that weight on your own and you want to have a better life for them, but you need them. You need them. You need their help. That's what they're there for. Family businesses, bro. We got to get our diaspora right. Go ahead, Ms. Cross. I ain't mean to take that away from you.
No, you're totally right. And I'm glad you mentioned that because, you know, I think what my biggest pet peeve is when you, people beg for what they need, but they pay for what they want.
They won't. Say it one more time. Say it one more time, Ms. Cross.
People beg for what they need, but they pay for what they want. It's so screwed, the psychology of people. And, you know, people such on autopilot, they don't pay attention to what they say out their mouth is not aligning with their action.
Just it.
You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. You know, is you're hungry or you're starving. If you're hungry, you're asking for other people to feed you. You're starving, you find a way to make it happen. I don't care if you dig through a freaking trash can and eat off of something that look like it's half rotten.
You know what I'm talking about?
Me with no hungry mess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going, you know, put you to the test to some due diligences because I got to see how bad you want it. You know what I'm saying?
And was that how that was? You was taking that school and that knowledge of seeing that everything was one-sided and taking that energy and saying, you want to know something? I'm gonna change this whole. I'm gonna shake this whole thing up because this isn't just for me and mine. This is for me, mine, and my diaspora that wants to come into this to learn and get a craft and also be able to start your own or either get information to be able to do as you please for your business, correct?
Exactly. So our school is like a hidden gem. Like I'm a super asshole, excuse my French, but I say it like that because I know what our school offer. Our school is our website is PERFECT10nailschool.com with the number 10. And when you go there, it's a diamond and rough type of school that makes you research first.
Yeah, and appreciate. And
you gotta appreciate the hookup. It's a diamond and rough. I don't do any advertisement. You know, none of that kind of stuff. A lot of people is from word of mouth. and people through, you know, the universe energy shifting them this way. It's the kind of school that everybody says that you're gonna get out of it more than what you expected. You know, it's some things you didn't even expect. And a lot of people also say, you know what, it was God's design for me to come here and meet you, you know, because they deal with certain things in their life that will affect, you know, their future and just their life in general. And they get corrected. They get that support system. They get that mentorship. Our students make business plans. And I tell them it doesn't matter if you are not doing nails. You could be doing a Fortune 500 company. A business plan is a business plan.
That's right.
You just name for name, location for location, you know, numbers for numbers. But I give them the tools to start them off for success. So I let everybody know that at our school, we don't just teach and certify nail techs, we build entrepreneurs.
That's right. And that's one thing that, and this is what this channel is for when it comes down to the Enlightenment Asset Hour, because I am doing my part by telling people that listen to me and know me, that's known me for years. And I tell you quick, you're the asset. At the end of the day, once you was born, God said that, he said, ye too are gods. You know what I'm saying? Not with a big G, but you're God, because you too will create and do better works than I.
That's right. Why marvel the things that I do when you can do greater things than I? Because ye are all God's children of the Most High God. That's right.
All right.
You know, for birth in this world, he said it's good.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? And he makes everything for our benefit. So we have to be able to take this entrepreneurship sight, you feel me, with your eyes wide open, not wide shut, you feel me, and understand the levels to this life in which we're in. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You know, you just gotta, and I thank you for the show as well too, because you know, people have to learn how to think outside the box. Start using a third eye with 360 degrees, and that is focused on, that's just cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction. And you got to start counter predicting that.
That's
you know, about what's going to be the next move. Just like I tell my students, I say, you can have somebody that, I tell students, I say, you have no control over what somebody says to you, what somebody does to you. Your number one power that you do have is control of your reaction to it. And they're counting on your reaction because they already got lined up options, option A, B, C, and they already know where it's going to lead because they already got the ripple effect, so that if they give an action, they're counting on your reaction in order to get what they need, aka pushing your buttons, you know, whether it's encouraging you or discouraging you. Correct. And so we have to not give away our reaction to people. We have to move in stealth mode. And I understand, I understand that people are not equipped with critical thinking skills. Yeah. Not everybody
are emotional people.
Everybody's not a worker bee. Everybody's not, they don't think they have that creative skill. They don't want the responsibility, you know, all those different things. And I get that. And in time, when you discover yourself, you'll work on those different levels, but never reject skills. You know how they say, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, eat the meat. Right. And you want to be able to take in what is for you right now, and everything else that you learn, it may not be for you, it may be for somebody else that you may encounter in your life. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Eat the meat and pick out the bones. And you rather well have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Hey, yo, you already know. Peace out to Joy Lee. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, what? Hey, make sure you keep one, baby. You know what I'm talking about? You never know when you might need something, so always keep something in your toolbox. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So we got to stop being a reactive people. We have to be a proactive people. And with me in this industry, it's basically, you know, I'm the wrong color to try.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We past that now. We are past that now. If any time now that they can ask a woman, what is the definition of a woman? And then now they're trying to make you feel like you don't know what a woman is, don't say that. We blessed. We blessed people. We supposed to be where we're at. We're doing what we're supposed to do. The ones that are not doing what they're supposed to do, God gonna mess with them. They're gonna end up doing what they was put here to do. You know what I'm saying? But
I say that with the conviction of knowing that I am the right person for the job. The Most High wouldn't put me there. But I'm talking about as far as their perception.
That's right. Them people, them other people.
I'm the right one. They feel as if I'm the wrong one. You know what I'm saying? You know how you say and say,
You're breaking up. Say it one more time. We got
this is a predominantly Asian
industry.
This is a predominantly Asian industry, and you know how many people of different nationalities come in there. And when I used to do walkthroughs and tours, and they'll look at me and eye me up and down, ask 50 questions, and then lie in my face. Okay, well, I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna register. And in my mind, I'm like, and I'm gonna go online and read and research some more, wasting my time. Like, you should have did that before you came here. You know, that kind of thing. And I realized that from other schools trying to get info and trying to size up their competition, and everybody else, they're people that when they look at me, they say, well, I can't learn nothing from you. What could you teach me? You know, I'm far above beyond that, you know, that kind of thing. So I took a point that I said, you know what? I'm not going to cast my pearls to swine. If you want to come to this school, you got, in order for you to weed out the swine, you have to put up obstacles. How bad you really want it. So our students, our potential students, they have to, you know, research. They have to get past their own selves, their own patience and everything. And when they attend, it's beautiful. And we have a one-stop shop, everything from education to hands-on training, certification. We certify them as a nail specialist, and then we walk them through a licensing course, and we have job placement resources as well too. So it's hashtag no excuses. Why you can be successful. You want to open up your own business, you're writing a business plan or whatnot, and I'll walk you through the process, because I used to flip salons just like people would flip houses for a living. So you're in the right place in order to get the assistance you need for me to come through to make sure you got everything in check to open up your salon that the state looking for. All right, I got you. So you got like a mentorship, and you know, it's like a family.
That's right. And I'm glad you was able to have that part of the description, because you know, just like I do, we run into people that are not savory people. They try to come off like they're savory. They really there for the money. They're really not there to push you and to be on board with your dream, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to go out there and make your dream happen. I'm just here to coach you, mentor you, and make sure I give you 100%. If I'm not going to give you 100%, I'd rather not even deal with you, because I need you to give me 100%.
Exactly. And I run into a lot of us, and you know, the other nationalities, they come in, don't give me no problems at all. But it's always us that come in that is like my biggest challenge. And I'm on the DNA. I understand that the Willie Lynch syndrome is passed down through the mitochondrial DNA. And the mitochondrial DNA is your cells have memory to them. That's passed down from child to child, from generation to generation. So your cells have memory that is linked to the DNA from things that you have that become hormonal. You know, just like they say, if you got an illness, it's hereditary.
Right.
So things that you go through psychologically as well through are passed down through the DNA too, because it's produced through the hormones, you know, that become part of our DNA and our makeup. So they call it that imprint.
Right. So is that when, because I've noticed myself back in the day and even now, I'm not even going to trip. When I get into a position where I have a whole lot of them, matter of fact, I ain't even going to speak like that, because that's ain't going to get them some power, bro. Look, yo, I'm like this. If you're going to be in them boardrooms, if you're going to be putting together business plans, if you're going to be putting together marketing plans, if you're going to be putting together financial plans so you could be able to open up a family business or anything like that, you be intentional. Be intentional. I'm speaking to those that are listening that have that power inside of them. Be intentional on what it is that you want to do. Learn to write your stuff out. Learn to pray over it. Learn to mark it out once it's done. Learn to do all this so your courage is what will be displayed to you, to those that are listening to me that's running into this situation. Ms. Cross, do you have anything that you want to say to that whenever it felt like that you had to dial that down in your DNA for you to say, okay, I know I got this. I know this is for me. I know that at the end of the day, this is what I'm going to be doing. Did you get to that point?
I do all the time. And what I tell my students is this, I say, as you move forward in this journey, and I say this even to our listeners, as you move further in your journey is that idea that was sparked within you, in your mind, that got you all pumped up and excited about moving forward with. Number one, moving stuff. Don't share it, don't talk it to people that don't have what you have, and not moving in the path to try to get what you're trying to get, because they won't understand. There's people that try to talk you out of it.
That's
they
right.
Try to get all of the cons. So you have your alpha and omega. Anything that happens in between that vision of the inception of the idea and how beautiful it's going to be when you anything that is a stumbling block that happens along the way, any negativity that is said or that happened, if it wasn't upon or given to you or revealed to you when the alpha and omega was given to you, then it's a mirage. Okay, you just keep pushing you forward, and anything else you look at it as constructive criticism. Basically, somebody is coming to you, putting a little bug in your ear that, hey, you got some haters out there that's getting ready to throw some monkey wrenches in your game. You need to be able to put you a plan together and a force together sitting on the sidelines that can be able to come in when you get ready to show timeouts. Just like you got a football game or whatever. You got your offense and you got your defense, right?
That's right.
You all on the field of life playing that offense, right?
That's
but
right.
Then when people come with negativity or things don't pan out the way you want it to, all right, your plan that you have devised together, you calling your defense team so they go handle it. Hey, go handle that issue, that problem, while you keep moving. That's the part of being proactive instead of being active. As long as you move like that and you realize that things that people tell you that even are negative, they may see some things and they just try to keep you on game. It don't mean for you to stop what you do. It just means for you to watch out. You know what I'm saying? Just, keep your eyes open. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they saying, look both ways before you cross the street. They ain't telling you not to cross the street. You know what I'm saying? And we be up here like, well, I ain't gonna do it because such and so said, So, we have to be encouraged. I do see that all the time. And I say, what God has for me, He has for me. And nobody can bless what the Most High has cursed. And as long as you wake up in the morning when the sun is rising, you're giving yourself positive affirmations. I am strong, I am healthy, I'm loved, I'm prosperous. Everything that I touch, it manifests. And you know that without you, there ain't nothing else that exists. There ain't nobody else that exists. And nobody can get nothing from you. And then, when you asked me before, what was my breakthrough? What was my breakthrough is that people kept demanding things from me that I felt as if I didn't have. Like here's a perfect example. You get locked up and the judge say, this is what your bail is. You be like, I ain't got that kind of money, but you break over hell and the earth and up under rocks and trees to be able to find that bail money, don't you?
Yeah.
You pull out resources you ain't know that you ever had before.
Right.
And I have to think, what is it about them to think that I have this capability to access this for them, not even for yourself, to access it to give somebody else. And you got to start expecting things from yourself that other people expect you to. And if they expect it from you, you have those capabilities. So how do you tap into it? And so we have to start tapping into negative energy and using it as a positive force to fuel us moving forward. You know, we think the only time that we can navigate is if, you know, we happy and everything is going according to plan and it's good. No, you got to look at adversities and say, you know what? If you want something from me, I want something from you too. Make the best person win. You know, because you don't go through stuff in life, don't go through it for free and for nothing. You know what I mean? You gotta get something out of the deal other than just relief, you know, because you know they stop putting the pressure on you, put pressure back up on you. You have to have a competitive spirit within yourself. You know, we put high expectations on everybody else, and we don't put them on ourselves.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the thing.
Yeah, because I be having high expectations on myself. I just hate to be let down when I allow other people's energy to try to correspond with what the result is going to be from them. Because at the end of the day, I put it to you like this: the only person business you need to be trying to pay attention to is your own. So talking to me about talking to me about Willie Jones, Netbone, and all the rest of them and what they got, I don't know them. I don't care to know them. If they're not in my level, not on what it is that I'm doing, I'm not paying no attention to them. See, because this right here, this is a nosy motherfucker right here, boy. This right here, this thing right here, this is a nosy motherfucker. The time that you give this right here, you take away from self. The time that you get away from here looking at what everybody else doing and trying to do and get your lights up and everything else, making you broke.
Exactly. You know, we don't use our time wisely, for sure. And, you know, the time that you are surfing the internet, you know, I started doing little things like, you know, replacing watching TV with reading books. And I ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, novels, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm talking about stuff that is going to like educate me and you know, I was raised that
education is key. Education is power, but really the application of the education is power. You know what I'm saying? So were you able to, when it come down to how you go about your process, like you said, you go online, you could read, you could do everything you want to do, but the only thing you need to do is join the school. You know what I'm talking about? What information do you have up there for the school if anyone wants to talk tuition or anything if that's necessary?
Full transparency, everything is on the website.
Okay.
99.9%. And we have a school catalog to download they can read through too. And for people who don't like to read, we got videos that'll tell them what is on the website. I made it simple.
And that was my next. That was one of my questions I was going to state earlier about your love of reading to grab information. Where did you get that from? What put you in that position to say, you want to know something? I'm gonna pick up the books more than watch TV now. You know, when you got to move in the way you got to move.
Right. Well, about when that infomercial, when the guy said, you know, the one thing you can't get back in life is time. What are you doing with your time? Right. And I said, you know what? I started, you know, I speak English. I speak legalese. I speak Vietnamese. I speak French. I speak Laos. I speak Hebrew. I know SL as well too. And right now I am in the middle of trying to learn Spanish that I've been trying to learn, and it just don't stick with me, and I don't understand why. And those just languages, but there are so many different skills and assets that I can get into that I do too. And that came from realizing that if it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Peace out, Too Short.
Hey, if watching TV ain't making me money, it's some downtime. You know, if I needed me some downtime to woosah, then what I started doing was I started to listen to meditation music frequencies, to raise my frequencies and to detox other frequencies from out of my head and out of my mind. I started to, instead of listening to the radio, I started listening to language CDs, you
Right.
know, making sure that everything that I put into me that I can be able to utilize, you know, to make me valid. You know, if you're not valid in this life, then you're not an asset.
That's
You know,
right.
when you get to the point where you just become filthy and wasteful and you're to no use, and you're that type of person that's going around asking everybody for every darn thing, and you don't know not a goddamn thing, but then you run around acting like you know every goddamn thing. You know, that part right there.
Yeah.
You know, and I think really what hit me is I became a victim of the system.
Mm.
And when I became a victim of the legal system, where I was being maliciously prosecuted, and it was a shocker for me because, you know, I was raised, you know, to think that, you know, people with all of their degrees and accolades and their positions, they're there for a reason because they're smart and they're honest people. And I
At least that's
learned.
what we thought. At least that's what we thought. They painted a beautiful picture, a mirage
Yeah, they did.
for
But it
us.
bothered me so bad that it really depressed me.
Right.
But my life was on the line. My life was on the line, and I was pregnant, and I had to. That's what got me into really reading and knowing about what other people duties and responsibilities are and what the law are and what the rules and regulations are. And I got to the point where when I get ready to do business with folk, I'm reading up on them, you know, to know, you know, what the do's and don'ts are, not only just for me, but for them too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To make sure
That's
that
right.
they do, that I'm getting everything that I'm afforded, because I got tired of yeah, I know what it is, and that's for another conversation,
Right.
for
Right.
another
Right.
about
Right.
what it is. But that is what made me, you know, get to the point of reading. And you know, ignorance for everybody, no matter on what level it is. I don't care if it's medically, if it's educationally, economically, if it's psychologically. You know that people don't want to be responsible for what they know, what, you know, and a lot of people don't know. And when you try to introduce the information to them, everybody want to go off of what people say, and nobody want to verify, and they want to run with what such and so say this or whatever because of place and their authority. You know, and from people accolades and authority. You know, I wouldn't be here right now today because, you know, they know how blessed that you are. You know, they know the things and the time and the season upon your life in which you're gonna manifest great things. And they try to get ahead of your life, keep you distracted and keep you stressed and everything. And you gotta pull from up out of there and notice that if people, out of all the people that could be going through adversities that people are paying attention to, and and you know, for them to take the time out of their busy day to come bother you, it's something appointed. Your appointed time is here. There's something great about you. There's something destined about you, and it is your time and season. Just because you're going through negative things, iron sharpen iron. It's not a bad thing. It's just to the occasion, and you move forward within your own right. You just be great within your own skill set and your abilities, and you stay encouraged. And so that's one thing that, you know, that's the kind of relationship I build with my students. And you know, and I drop little nuggets to them, you know, here and
You
there
just
about.
dropped a bunch of nuggets. You just dropped a bunch of nuggets to my listeners and my viewers today. So, hey, bless you for real.
Likewise. So I thank you for the opportunity, you know, to be here and to speak. But you know, we got to go back out there and we got to build. We have to build self-sufficiency. We have to play this. We have to play this commerce game. That's what everything is at right now. It's about commerce. You know, if you're working on somebody's job, pay attention to more than just, you know, what allows you to come to work and check and do your paycheck. Yeah, you have to do more than, you know, what showing up and just doing your A to B just enough to collect your paycheck. You got to do more than that. The reason why is because the people who run the company is the people who do the work.
That's right.
right. They're the one who make the company run. Everything outside of that is just gaining clientele.
That's
You know,
it.
that is, and balancing the books, and they got all kind of programs.
That's
That's
right.
so you have to, know that you are a key employee. That
That's
is,
right. Employee, tell them something. Tell them
yeah.
something.
We think of ourselves as just being an employee, but you have to realize you are a key employee. What does a
That's
key do?
it.
Unlocks opportunities and doors. Exactly.
Mhm.
So, you are valuable no matter where you are, and you should be familiar with the company that you are working in, the industry that you're working in. And anything that you don't like about it, that's your niche. That's your
Right.
SWOT, that's your niche. And which means that you're going to make things better in the same industry that you work in. So follow your passion. If it's hard, call outside of the state. Those are some things that you have to do. Call outside of your state. If you're on the East Coast, call on the West Coast. Let them know, hey, I'm on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? I'm not your direct competitor, but this is what I'm trying to do. And if you coulda, woulda, shoulda all over again, what are some things that you would have done to get you to the point that you are at now faster?
Right.
So I don't have to go through those pitfalls or whatnot,
Right.
and make those mistakes, and get that information if you cannot find it online, or you're running into so much information online to the point that you don't know what information to follow or whatnot in order to start you. And start somewhere.
Mhm.
Don't wait till you got all of the information. You know what I'm saying? Because opportunity meets preparation. Which means not preparation meets opportunity. So which means you could be uh you could be prepared for an opportunity. An opportunity don't never come.
Right.
An opportunity always comes when you're not prepared for it, and
Right.
you got all these options, and it's a big choice that you got to make, and it's a hard choice you got to make, and you feel as if you're ill-equipped. But that's the time for you to take that opportunity, because it's saying that you've reached a point in your life where you're seasoned enough just where I need you to start this journey, and you'll pick up everything else you need along the way, because it's a kinetics thing. You have to be in it and work it and see what's happening. You have to be in the midst, in the fold of that thing, in order to work your way through it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So from that, what would you have to say to this next generation that just graduated, and as our time is coming down, give them some type of well, I can't say give them some type of anything, because you just gave everyone that push, that courage speech, you know what I'm saying? Knowing thyself for real, and everything that you're trying to do. So what would you say to the newcomers to this world that they don't have any, it wasn't really taught about or anything, but give them some type of pom action for these new generation people, that's just young people that just graduated? What do you have to do?
Don't be a procrastinator. Don't talk about it, be about it. You know what I'm saying? You got to move it. You got to be you have to be a spirit of action. We all are heavenly beings having earthly experiences. And so you have to be a person of action. Don't be a procrastinator. That's the number one thing. That is not a good asset. And just do the darn thing, and manifest everything. You can do everything on your own. You don't need anybody's stamp of approval. You don't need anybody's help with it. You got to be your number one plan, your first go-to, and you got to be your backup plan as well too. Anything anybody else does in between, it'll make the load lighter. It'll make everything else, go a little bit easier, but it also will weed out people that is meant to sit at the table with you when all is said and done. So you can get rid of people that is just hanging on to your coattail, because they you to feed and do everything for them, and then want to claim all the glory like they got you the way you need to be at, right? So just check your surroundings, and just have self-awareness, and just get rid of anything, any people that are toxic in your life or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And you have control over everything. And just remember, you are the key. You're the asset. If it's no you, nothing else exists. So, you know, handle that self-care and just make sure that everything is possible. You just have to compartmentalize things. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to have the whole thing. You just got to have the secret ingredient, and that's you.
Word. Thank you so much, Miss Cross. I sure enough appreciate you for today. We're going to put this together, get this out. And again, congratulations on the school. Keep doing the good work. Hopefully it will be coming up soon and get you together for a commercial or something. Cause you know how I do. I got to be able to market, you know what I mean? Get over this foot, but we're gonna get everything together. All right. Thank you so much. And I know my listeners is going to appreciate seeing this, and keep on doing your good work. All women, I'm just saying, all women that do nails or want to learn nails, you got the summer coming in. Once again, reach out to Miss Cross. The information to be at the bottom.
Yes, and guys too, as well too.
And guys too. Oh, okay. And guys, okay, my bad. Guys too.
Yeah, because they think that they have to be, you know, like feminine, and you don't have to be feminine. You know, men, y'all are aphrodisiac around here. They want for y'all, you know, sexy things to be rubbing all on their legs and their feet.
Right. Keep your feet done, keep your nails done. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta stay right, baby, at all times. Yeah, shiggity. Well, thanks again, Miss Cross. Once again, we're gonna go over the generation board. Baby boomers, thank you. That's 58 to 67. Generation X, 42 to 57. Millennials, 26 to 41. Generation Z, that is 10 to 25. Once again, thank you, baby boomers. And this, again, is for you, the asset. Nothing happens unless you allow it to happen. You are the asset. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day. And remember, you are the asset.
Young black males, take your place. Without women, take your place. Top of the pyramid, take your place. Looking for change, gotta take your place. Without children, take your place. Through the pain, gotta take your place. Black queens, gotta take your place. Even the children, take your place.